We're wrapping up the show with Peter White.
Hi, nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
It's been a fun day. It's always fun here at KSBR. I never know who I'm going to see, and it's always a surprise who I end up playing with on stage. Very often when we arrive here, we don't know what songs we're going to play.
Really?
Until somebody hands you a piece of music and say, hey, play this. So that's the surprise element of that is what I like.
It is really exciting for the audience, too, because we can see the energy.
We're living in the moment.
Yeah. Where are you off to, Peter?
I have a show in Washington, D.C. coming up soon at Blues Alley.
Really?
A legendary club has been there for many decades. Last time I played with them was actually 15 years ago. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going back to England later in the year. I'm doing a lot of shows with Rick Braun and Gerald Albright, actually. It's called Jazz Attack. And we're playing all around the US with that show. I'm working on a new album and hope to get that finished in the next few weeks so I can release it later this year.
Good. Are you going to England with Jazz Attack?
No.
What are you doing?
I go back to England. I go and put a band together over there in England, and I play a little club called the Pizza Express Jazz Club.
I love that club. In the basement, right?
Yeah. And it seats like about 115 people. And I play there twice a year. Actually, 10 times a year. Actually, 16 times a year.
No way.
And I'm doing 8 nights in November. I'm there in the Pizza Express. It's my home away from home. And I get to see my mom, and very often she can come down to the show and see me play there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I really do it for my mom.
And your fans in England, which I know you have plenty.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to play in my own country.
It is, but you're living here now, huh?
I've lived here for 32 years. I've lived in California.
Wow. What brought you here? You came here with Al Stewart, didn't you?
Yeah, because Al Stewart had a hit in 1976 called The Year of the Cat. And he decided that he wanted to live in Hollywood. He loved Hollywood. He could live the life of a rock star and hang out in all the clubs and be a rock star. And I wanted to keep my gig with him, so I just followed on and stayed and helped him put a band together and continue touring, because most of his success, his biggest success, was in America, even though he was from England, as am I.
Right.
But we settled here and we kept playing together. I played with him all together for about 19 years.
Really?
Yeah. That was a very good gig for me.
It was a great, great gig.
Yeah.
Actually, I loved his music. I loved your music.
Thank you.
Yes, and I still do. So what happened after that? Did you go right into your solo career?
Well, I made my first solo album when I was 40 years old. No, 35. Sorry. 35 in 1990. And I'd been playing with Al for 15 years at that point. But I decided that I wanted to do something on my own. And I was still playing with Al. And I was also playing with a lady called Basia from Poland. And she had a lot of success here in the late 80s and early 90s. And so I was continuing to play with Al Stewart and with Basia and releasing my own albums and doing a few shows on my own. But it wasn't until 95 that I stopped doing all the sideman gigs and just concentrated on playing my own shows. So that was 5 years after I released my first album. So it was a long transition there. It was a 5-year transition from becoming, being a sideman to becoming a solo artist.
But you carry it well. You carry it well, really.
It all happened very nicely for me. I never really planned any of this. I just thought, I'll record an album. I was inspired by what I heard on the radio in Los Angeles. It was The Wave. And they were playing instrumental music, and they played a group called Acoustic Alchemy. That really inspired me, because it was acoustic guitar music, which I love. And I thought, I can do this. I can make an album of acoustic guitar music. So, inspired by them, I did. I made my first album in 1990 and released it. I didn't know if it was ever going to be received well. I didn't know if it was going to get played on the radio. I didn't know anything. I was just doing it because I felt I had to.
Really?
And later I met the guys from Acoustic Alchemy, and I said, you guys inspired me, and, thank you, and I want to play with you one day. And I did. One day I did end up playing with them actually at the Pizza Express Jazz Club in London.
They always play there at Christmas.
Yeah, I know. I played with them there. It was during the summertime, actually, a few years ago that I played with them. Yeah. So
They always have the gig. If you go, I'm going to be there. Because I want to hear you guys all together.
Yeah, look forward to that. A little bit of history with Ian and those guys. Yeah, I think maybe we have to wrap it up. They want the golf cart back.
I know, they're going to take their cart back.
Yeah, we're sitting in the golf cart, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Backstage in the golf cart, and the real owners are here for it. Thank you so much for talking with us,
You are
Peter.
so welcome. You're welcome.
Good to see you again.
All right. I'll see you next time.
All right, yes, you will. Peter White.